What's up, everybody? This is Brad from StereoBreedMedia, and for a while now I've been meaning to show you guys some of the behind the scenes work that we do. So I just got done with the matte painting, collecting it 3.5 hours to do, and I'm going to first show you the finished video clip and a little bit about how we made it. So yeah, check it out. Okay, so now that you've seen what the video looks like, let's just go into a little bit about how it was created. This was a matte painting created in Photoshop. So first off, we had to break apart all the different elements and put them into a composition. So we started with the sky, added the towers into there, the city, which is actually just the silhouette of a city, the foreground snow layer, the rock and the rock shadow, and the tree. And that was everything, just splitting the elements up so they're on their own separate layer. Then we took this whole Photoshop file and moved it into After Effects, imported the whole Photoshop file, so here are those same layers, and we imported into a new composition. In this composition, we took all the elements of the Photoshop file and put it in a 3D space. So what that means is then we can create a camera. And if you actually see, they're all 2D objects, but all the 2D objects are in 3D space. So they're kind of pushed back into Z space, where it kind of makes it look like a real world and not two-dimensional. So with that, we made a little camera move just from left to right. No shakiness yet. In the final product you saw a little bit of shakiness, but this is just a straight move from left to right. The only other things we did was add this atmosphere layer. So if I shut off all these files real quick, it's just this like kind of smoke and hazy type thing, just to give it a little bit more movement and to make it look like a frosty morning or sunset, whatever you want to do it. And then the other thing is, if you look at this right now, the buildings don't look like they're actually that far away. One reason for that is as things get further off in the distance, it gets harder to see them because there's more air in between the viewer and the object. So it actually gets a little bit like washed out. So I added these white solids to kind of just make it look like there's actually, you know, frosty air in between you and that object. So once again, this is without, and this is with. So it just kind of adds to the realism a little bit. So we comped that whole thing, and then we added a wiggle expression to give it that bouncy handheld camera shake type thing that you've seen in the final product. We rendered that out as a whole video, and then we started adding our touch-up effects. So we started out with this video, and we first added a lens flare to act as the sun in this part. Tracked it to the scene, and then made the brightness flicker on and off whenever it bounces through the tree to make it look like a real lens flare. So we tracked that to the null, and then we added our widescreen in. And this is actually a gradient or however you want to say it. It's just an orange gradient going to a black, and we applied it on the screen layer, so the black becomes invisible, but you can still see the orange. And pretty much what that does is adds an orange tint to the sky. So there's the regular sky, and there's, you know, it orangified. So let's bring our widescreen back. And the very last thing we did was a color grade, and then we did a vignette, which is pretty much like a darken and blur around the edges of the video. So this is the final video once again, and it came out pretty nice. Alright, that's everything. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, follow us on Twitter at StereoBreed, and Facebook, facebook.com/StereoBreedMedia. Peace.